Testing 1 2. Testing 1 2. Testing. Testing. Go ahead, dude.
Testing 1 2. Testing 1 2.
Jonathan, what you
Testing.
Here. 1
Yeah.
2 3.
Check my vocals.
4 5 6.
All right, cool. We good.
That was the real deal.
Welcome live Saturday from the ranch. Here we are, Duke and Jonathan back.
We back
for another
once again.
Sports Saturday conversation.
Beautiful Saturday.
Beautiful weather outside.
Oh, beautiful.
You can take us remotely on your phone and go out there and just chill, listen to us drop this knowledge here. Real sports talk for the culture. How you guys doing?
Oh, beautiful, man. Beautiful day in the neighborhood, man.
Duke done brought down some Azzies, some cookies.
Whatever. Oh, yeah.
Do real good. Jonathan's munching on them right there. Yeah. Enjoying
Be careful, man. Be careful.
Taking advantage of these cookies.
Yeah, them things are really, really, really good. They're addictive. Just contact us if you want your order. Just get it in. But gentlemen, let's jump in. NFL, we heating up. We went through the month of September. Things are getting hot. Some issues with going in, and we're trying to that first week trying to see who's contenders, who pretenders. September. Everybody has hopes and ambitions coming into the season, and then quickly as we move from summer to fall to autumn, the realization of slowly but surely who's real and who's not real. And speaking of real, definitely speaking of real, the Los Angeles Rams 4-0. Beat the Minnesota Vikings in one of the most entertaining games of the year.
Oh, yeah, without a doubt.
Last Thursday night. The Thursday night games have been dogs. They did really well. A lot of time for people to prepare. And this had the making and looking after the Vikings had dropped one trap game to very bad to Buffalo at home last week. And then they're traveling 2 time zones to play L.A. on a short week. And it was a tremendous game. 38-31. L.A. was missing their starting corner, and one of their corners were banged up. And the Vikings, were right there with them offensively. And when we want to talk about, offense, and definitely what the league wants offense, we'll get to that a little bit later about the roughing and quarterback controversies coming up. But it's definitely what the league is looking for. And the Rams, they really look tough. They look, and their defense is not getting together yet. When they get the corners together and everybody meshing, but they have the offense.
Yeah,
they have 3
offense
receivers, the running back. Goff looked sharp. He looked like he was on point.
Cooks.
Yeah, Cooks. They got speed.
They looking special.
Cool. And so what do you guys think of the Rams? You think that they are the favorite right now, and they should be the team that you think is going to be there when it matters most?
Well, Eagles fan just chimed in. Demetrius.
DP. What's up, brother?
He says the Eagles going to get them. The defense looks a little suspect. Just wanted to note that. That's what he put out there. But me, as a football fan, it looks good. As a Niners fan, I'm upset. So I got mixed feelings with the Rams.
Yeah.
But the Rams definitely look like the real deal. You got to speak real football. You can't just go with your team, and that's that. And the Rams look like they're going to be the truth. Like you said, they the shootout was because of the corners were down. They were down pretty much their 2 starting corners in a way. And discredit the Minnesota. They took advantage of it. But it might have been more lump-sided if those corners are playing,
And Minnesota, they fare well coming through 2 time zones and jumping over there.
Yeah, and they did good. And hey, look, they got to be beat. Right now, last
They're
year
hot, yeah.
they looked good last year. They lost a game in the playoffs.
Atlanta, yeah,
Right.
It was like they wasn't prepared for the lights.
Right.
So like
which is what happened.
Yeah, so like they was a little outshine. But this year it looks like it's going to be different. Everybody get to play together one more year.
And they brought everybody back.
Yeah, they bring everybody back. Coach get the coach
pieces.
one more.
Yeah. Some veteran pieces.
Added pieces where pieces can be added. Some people want to add a piece at quarterback or add a piece at center or add a piece at receiver. Like that's still hard to really. At corner, you can plug a corner in and just say, do
absolutely,
you.
Absolutely.
Like when you add in your middle linebacker and you got 15, 20 different assignments, like that's a little harder to change up.
Right.
But when you adding people in that corner and at those type of positions, it's easy for them to fall in line. It's not a real crazy playbook they got to learn. It's either you playing cover 1, you playing cover 2, you zoning or covering.
Right.
That's pretty much what it comes down to. But Rams looking good though, man.
Yeah, I gotta give it to them, man. Right now they are they're rolling on all cylinders, man. But when you talk about, Goff was so impressive to me.
Yes,
I was like, because the thing that I look for in a quarterback is I look for them to lead. I look for audibles and I look for throws, and I'm sitting there like, wait a minute. All of these throws,
on a dime. He was
they
dropping
are
a dime.
right there every time. Not 1 out of 3. No, I'm like, wait a second.
Yeah,
and they were in there, and I'm sitting there like I'm talking about you running your route, and the ball hits you in stride, you don't have to break stride. I said, look at this guy, man. He was really looking like, I don't want to say it too soon. He was back there, Joe Montana like.
Yeah, he dropped.
It looks like, if you go back, he looks like Dan Pastorini that used to
Yeah,
play and for the Oilers, and his demeanor too. Like,
Yeah,
his way, the way
right.
he carries himself. He's not too hyped, not too excited,
Yeah.
whatever. Him and his coach
carrying that
McVay,
humbleness, you know.
him and McVay. And
He dropped that one touchdown pass
with double coverage.
Oh,
like, he put it.
man.
He couldn't go down there and hand it to him
man.
back.
Like,
He was
But the
looking
confidence,
special,
it looked
man.
like. It looked like in LA. I don't know. I forget what the temperature is. It looked like when you get them fall crisp nights in the Northeast when it's about 60, and you can grip the ball and no wind, and you playing at nighttime. Going back and you can really spin it. And he was really spinning it. And,
Right.
And it's the interesting piece about golf, and you get in with McVay. They had one play where Minnesota was sitting in their base defense. They want to have linebacker number 55 out there, and they said, okay, if you're going to sit there in a base defense with 55 in the linebacker when we go three wides, well, we're going to ISO him on Cooper Kupp. And Cooper Kupp not going to run a drag route.
No.
He's going to drag and go deep.
Yes.
Like, we're going to clear out because, we got Cooks who's world-class speed. You got to worry about him. So you bring in that Kupp on that cross and then turn up. Like, you think he's going for this? I'm going deep. And he laid it right in. He said he beat by 5 yards. It was like great scheme.
Hey, man, that's practice. That's same page. We hanging out. We watching movies together. We eating wings together. That's what those throws were,
And the thing about it was, when you look back, and you look back when golf first started, and we get to this thing about coaching and then wanting to pull the trigger. His rookie year, he wasn't even starting. He was under Jeff Fisher. Jeff Fisher, a Buddy Ryan disciple. And, Jeff Fisher was doing his usual thing. I really don't care for these quarterbacks. And when you draft them number one when I'm here, I'm going to make it hard as possible for them with guys I'm hiring from high school to run the offense and anything like that.
Right.
And he was suffering. And they said, we're making a move. Bye, Jeff. We're going to bring in somebody young, creative, offensive mind. Why draft a first-round quarterback when have, Jeff Fisher's there? Same thing with Vince Young. I'm not saying Vince Young would have been a great player, but Vince Young would have stood a better chance under somebody offensive.
Oh, without a doubt.
And so it looked like it was getting ready to replay again right under with Goff. Like his first year, everybody was like, well, Dak is doing this. He's throwing this. Goff can't even get off the bench. And when he does get off the bench, what's going on?
Right.
So definitely they made the right move. I mean, you don't think coaching and developing the players matters. They found somebody young that can develop, a quarterback and he can throw. And the performance he put on last night, Thursday night, was like on the elite status. Like definitely, like okay, I'm here.
It's like you better get your money together. That was one of those because I see $200 million plus out in LA, and
he played like it was a Monday night football game.
Man, I was.
He played like everybody in that work right now. You know? He played like everybody was tuned in. You know,
everybody.
He played like it was Monday night football.
It was one of the best games we've seen in a while. They're up and down, and what the league is definitely looking and pushing for, definitely. But on the other hand, you have them, and I think definitely Rams are going to be the team to watch, a team to beat. Can they handle the pressure, being top seed, number one? We'll see how that is. It's not easy, being chalk and everybody's expectations. Well, you catch it being the Super Bowl.
Yeah, it's early, too. Things change.
Things change.
Real
Injuries,
quick.
Stuff like that.
We saw the team go 10-0, and next thing you know, they 12-4, and everybody's like, wait a second.
What happened?
Yeah.
Things happen, but definitely.
So right now, they are that team right now.
September,
Yeah, they are.
Yeah, but definitely. But on the other part of the game was Kirk Cousins. Now, Kirk Cousins is taking a lot of flack. He bet on himself. He really get his contract. He is $90 million guaranteed. And I think that game showed the Minnesota Vikings got what they wanted. They got the ability, if our defense isn't playing, the game's not over.
Right.
Like, if we up against a hot quarterback, we have somebody that can be hot with him. You know what I mean? Like, make throws. And he was right there with, Goff.
Right.
He was playing. Kirk Cousins was like, I'm here too.
Yeah,
like,
Like, don't forget now, I can sling it too. You want to sling, but I sling.
Let's throw it around. And I think Minnesota was like, okay, definitely we have a quarterback. We got some options. We got some receivers that we can throw to too. And it was interesting to see because everybody, we had this discussion, coming into the season. One of the things we talked about, pressure. Who's the pressure on? What quarterback? Definitely.
Yeah. And we did say him, right? Because that guarantee 84.
And especially coming off the egg that was laid last week.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Even though,
which puzzled everybody. That was the one that messed everybody's money up.
Yeah,
that's what they did.
I think you're going to run to a few of those games weekend. Gambling's legalized, but that is another story for another time. But you see when they were playing, the Bills and they got shut out most of the game. Everybody's like, that's what we told you. That Cousins. So the pressure coming in Thursday night with all eyes watching. His primetime streak. He didn't break that, but he played well. You didn't leave that game saying they lost because of Cousins.
No.
He couldn't really produce or generate offense or anything like that.
You give up 37. What you want.
It's cool. It's like really good. Yo, Daryl Smith is checking in. I just want to shout out Daryl.
DS,
how
what's
you
up,
doing,
brother?
Man, Jersey guy. Go back to my days. He F&M alum.
Yeah,
Bull, the dark side from F&M. What's up, Daryl? But yeah, when you go back and you look. Cousins played one out of the ball game.
He did.
And let you know, okay, we got some confidence. You can take. That's one of the games you take an L and be like, okay, we took an L, short week, and the best team in the league, and we was right there.
Right.
We, on a short week, they kind of set us up. You know what I mean?
And we might see you again.
Yeah.
We might see you again.
Yeah.
Hey,
I don't know about the seeing again. They starting off, they kind of bad this year, and that's what a lot of people said. Even if they don't make the playoffs, a lot of people were saying that it may not still be a bad season for Cousins because this loss wasn't a bad loss, So, but it's not looking too good for them. They're 1-2-1 right now.
Yeah, but nobody's really ran away from that division because you figure that what kills them is the Buffalo loss, but it's an AFC loss. But that's what you should win. That you should be 2-1.
Yeah,
and the kicker really killed them. Now Bam Bailey looked like they had solidified that. It's been the Minnesota kicking has been just some throughout this going back to Randall in the playoff championship game. They had just missed some kicks to Seattle. Like they have really never been able to solidify that kicking position for those 3-pointers, and especially when you're a defensive team.
Right.
Like you're going to be, in close games. Definitely in close
we
games.
We got Boris Motushus calling from Croatia, buddy. A big Tony Kukoc fan, man. I remember some of your things used to come out your mouth, Boris, about Tony Kukoc being better than Michael Jordan. That's why I had to walk away from you a couple times. But I understand your love. That was his man. He was
riding for him.
Yep.
So
what's up, Boris?
Definitely Castro. What is he yelling at?
Royce, what's happening, man?
Yeah, Castro.
Fifth born. Happy birthday, too.
Now, he feels that Cousins only looked good because the Rams were missing a starter at corner. The other one wasn't, 100%. But he threw dimes, though. Like, he put the ball.
He gave us what, Cousins is going, listen, if you give him a defense and his defense stops, he might win you some games. He's going to win you some games.
Cousins did good for me.
He's a gunslinger.
I got Cousins on my fantasy football.
All day, right?
Point.
I checked it and it said 70-something points.
Yeah.
So he did well. I was only supposed to score 140.
He's a gunslinger.
But that gives you. I want to jump in that really, really quick point because a lot of times we live in a fantasy football league,
right?
And actually about playing well and actually putting up stats are two different things.
Yes.
Yeah.
We go back to the Seattle game. Zeke. Everybody said Zeke had 127 yards on 16 carries, had a great game. Why didn't they give him the ball more? Zeke did not have a great game. He stepped out of bounds on a touchdown pass that nullified that. He dropped the sure third down conversion pass that would have made it a first down. And then he had a fumble late.
Sounds like that. You are a real Cowboy fan.
Yeah, exactly. So I had to go and say, Zeke had a great game. Zeke didn't have a good game. I was like, he had some runs late when you're up by 3 touchdowns. Oh, run a draw.
Right.
You're running a draw? Okay.
Yeah.
The
pad of stats.
Yeah, as long as nothing's thrown over my head and touch. And that's what I think when you talk about having a good game or bad game. Like if you're down by 3 scores and the quarterback was like, okay, yeah, they sit in a cover 2,
right,
and you went up down the field
let
for 140 yards and
underneath everything.
Yeah, underneath. No, the clock kept running and we won.
Right.
Oh, he got me points, but he didn't play a good game.
No.
He threw 2 pick sixes in the first quarter.
Right.
Or he couldn't convert.
It didn't count. It's when it counts.
He was erratic the whole first half.
Right.
That's why they were down by 3 touchdowns. Yeah. But yeah, so that's the interesting thing. But I think besides the numbers he put up, you had confidence, like in the Minnesota Viking quarterback.
Yes.
That's what he just gave you that look about confidence and that we can get this done.
Yeah, they didn't come in thinking they were going to lose.
Yeah.
Well, that's what he brings. That's what he brings to you.
They came in and they got a chance against anybody. Well,
they
didn't come in thinking they were going to lose, and they had a chance against anybody.
Definitely. So it'll be interesting to see how that makes out because they have the Philadelphia Eagles next, right?
Do they?
Yeah.
They have a tough schedule.
Next week. Next week?
Yeah. They
Uh-oh. We in Philly?
I believe so.
Yeah,
Uh-oh.
Schedule.
Okay. This is what I'm talking about.
Yeah, so we get good games early. See you later. I want to jump into the New England Patriots. They played their old defensive coordinator on Monday night. And we've seen New England not look well before early in seasons. And Belichick was like, we're onward to Cincinnati, getting beat by Kansas City and stuff like that. And it turned it around. Edelman comes back. But looking at that game and looking at, Gronk has another year older. Not really anything else out there for receivers. They went out and grabbed my man from Cleveland to try to bolster a deep threat. Is this – and, look, they have the NFC East. The AFC East. But is this New England kind of – this is going to be 11-5 season for New England. Is this going to be what do you guys think about New England? Are they finally coming back to the pack and could, by some stretch of the imagination, not win the AFC East? The Dolphins are undefeated right now, but you don't really believe in them. I don't.
We're not going.
So there's two things. The New England can just be New England and maybe get it going. But I think it's a time where they're not really a threat to come out of the AFC like they were, like a guarantee. What do you guys think?
Look, this all goes back, all right, to Garoppolo, right? Mm-hmm. Garoppolo was about to take over. Mm-hmm. The person who stopped the takeover was Brady and the owner himself. Belichick was done.
Yeah.
So we can't. Let's not forget about that.
Yeah.
That's ongoing beef right there, right? Brady and Belichick. Well, Brady does not like him. Let's put it out there. He's talked about and is out there that it's been 18, 19 years of marriage and is not a good thing, because you're not changing. You are who you are. But guess what? I was a young person at 23. Now I'm 40. It's something different. You can't keep me under that 23-year-old rule, under the rules. It just doesn't happen. So moving forward with them, how he's a power guy, right? He likes the power. He's calls the shots. This one time, because remember, all these players New England had, right? We seen them go.
Once your time's up, you go.
This is the one time when you try to make a move, it's nothing happening. So don't tell me he's not feeling something about that, right?
Yeah, definitely.
So guess what I'm going to do to you in getting you back? I'm going to shorthand you since you want to be the GOAT. I'm going to shorthand you with all these weak receivers. All right, now dig us out this hole now since you want to be the GOAT. That's get back. That's what it is. I feel sorry for Brady, but this is it for Brady. This is going to be his last year right here.
You believe this is last year?
I think this is it. He can't. What's going on right now? Nobody's taking that at 40 years old anymore. He's not. He's making him look crazy. Is what he's doing.
Or you think is he last year New England, last year altogether?
No, I think he's done with football this year.
Okay.
I think this season right here, because not only these games right here with New England, if they're tough, they usually get out of there. They survive. You got beat by the Lions by 16 points, and you scored 10 points.
And the Lions looked really. They knew a lot of stuff what they were going to do, and they were playing.
But they the ones where you get out.
Yeah.
That you get out of those games. But because of what they got going on, listen, it's deeper than what we think, right?
Yeah.
Gronk already said.
They were going to trade Gronk.
He was about to get traded to Detroit.
Yeah,
Gronk said, if they trade me without Brady, I'm retiring. So what's that tell you?
Yeah, he really wanted that Brady out here looking like crazy.
Yeah. So it's
Could you imagine this team with no Gronk and no Edelman?
Yeah, man, look.
Gronk and cheat codes still.
So you feel where I'm coming from as far as because if you going to shorthand this man on offense, your defense doesn't look all that great either.
And you really can't play defense.
You can't have both sides.
Yeah, Belichick kind of made the move years ago when the rule changed to say, look, I'm going with offense, and I can afford to do that because the AFC East has no quarterbacks. So I may face a quarterback here and there in the playoffs. I'm scoring enough offense where I can just take one of these young bulls and trick them up from my defensive savantness, and make much out of it. They haven't had a real good. He figured, it's all about offense now. They really want that. So, I kind of put my defense together, and I don't face any real quarterbacks that can threaten me or push me. I can develop my stuff,
right?
Because I'm not being pushed by any quarterbacks from AFC East. That's 6 games against no quarterback.
Yeah, and let's not. Now, tomorrow is going to be the test of all tests.
Miami.
Because Miami's coming in undefeated. Now, if they come in and they put Miami to rest.
Yeah, like they'll calm down. Like
Yeah,
they say, like,
we're gonna be New England, y'all. Just but if
y'all
it looks ugly,
we're gonna give you hands.
if it looks ugly, somebody might be in trouble. Somebody might be in trouble. Shout out to my little cousin, even though she's like 27, Mina D. Ross.
Yeah,
and we got childhood friend Roger Williams watching. What's up, guys?
Shout out to Ernell, Millersville University in the house.
Ernell, what's happening, man?
What's
going on, y'all?
He's a Lakers
Thanks
guy
for
too.
tuning in.
Uh-oh, he's feeling good right now.
Yeah,
he's feeling real good.
Lakers blood, we run deep.
Definitely.
Jay Reeves, I see you.
So
what's happening?
That's interesting, yeah, because when it told me they were trying to move Gronk, then it was like, well, wow, they really was trying to say, okay, Brady,
I think that when Brady goes, Belichick won't be too far gone after him, because I don't think that he understands the reason why he has success is because of Brady.
Yeah,
that's what I think.
Well, my point of view it's similar but a little different. I believe this is all Brady. I believe everything that's happening is because of Brady, and it may be like a spinoff of Belichick being upset, but it's like Brady wants the Brady when the Brady era ends to be the end of Belichick. Whereas though if Garoppolo would have stayed, the Belichick era would have continued, and it would have been like, we don't stop with a quarterback. Bledsoe was killing the game. We got rid of Bledsoe. We plugged Brady in. Brady killing the game.
That's definitely
we
the
got
business mind.
We got rid of Brady.
Belichick operates.
We plugged Garoppolo in.
Yeah.
But Brady seen that. And Brady knew his arm wasn't strong. When does Brady throw 40 yards down the field? So Brady knew he was on his way out. I watched Garoppolo before he got injured throw off his back foot 40 yards down the field.
I wish I could have a mic
I seen him throw off his back
near
foot.
Brady's locker or on his way home.
That year.
Right.
So
they got a nice system. Their system
doesn't stop.
Yeah.
And them being in that division with those teams don't benefits them. So I think that's what they're doing. I don't think Belichick is going to end. I think Belichick is going to make a move. Belichick may hold Brady for another 3 years, and then Garoppolo may come back. We don't know what they talking about.
Brady is on his own thing.
But what shows that Brady's on his own thing also is what I want to get to was him trying to move Gronk to Detroit shows that Detroit is my coach. That's my guy right there. So he's trying to help his guy out. So that almost shows that I'm done with the game. Let me give you some pieces, because he was under
tree.
He was under Belichick.
Get Matt Stafford.
So that's what that showed.
Like, look, let Matt Stafford work with Gronk, and let's see what Matt Stafford can do with Gronk.
Because I'm pretty much out. So let me give you something.
Hey, when you start, that's what I'm saying. When you start doing that type of business right there, that means you about to roll out because the ship is sinking.
Yeah.
And he been in the mix.
They seen the ship sinking way before we did. They know
they
back stories,
definitely.
All day.
Definitely. I want to shout out my Uncle Vet. He's listening in.
Uncle Vet.
What's up, Uncle Vet?
Aunt Emma's Facebook account to listen in, Uncle Vet.
Oh, okay.
Chester High graduate basketball player, Biddy League world champion, Uncle Vet. How you doing, Uncle Vet? Uncle Sylvester, how you doing?
Sylvester, main man.
So definitely. But yeah, I think that's definitely one of the things to look out, and it's an interesting thing because the New England thing has ran for a long time, and it's changed forms. It went from defense and running to offense, to playing offense, to 15-0, 16-0
Hey, listen,
season.
One thing that we know is that it has to end.
Yeah, everything. All good things come to an end.
It has to end.
Definitely. Thinking of stuff that has to end. This roughing the passer concept. Man, this thing is getting
feeling good
crazy.
Till you brought that up, man.
This is really getting out of hand, man. I come back and I get into a lot of debates about the validity of players and how good players were back in the day and hitting and stuff like that and quarterback play. And I get into talks about Troy Aikman, his numbers and what he threw interception-wise. I said those cats back in the day, the numbers back in the day are different. Because the game was so different. The game was a physical hit game. There was no protection for quarterbacks. There was no protection for receivers going across the middle. And you want to move and protect players, understand like that. So it was a lot different, tougher game back then. I tell people all the time, you weren't going to drop Troy Aikman back in a division with Reggie White, Clyde Simmons, Lawrence Taylor. You weren't going to drop him back 44 times. You wouldn't have Troy Aikman.
Right.
Like, you just not. just players that can, when they get you, they got you.
They
you
got
what I mean?
you.
Definitely. So the league is really trying to crack down with this. Now, the thing that comes in is Clay Matthews has kind of became the poster child of a roughing the passer. He had one earlier, then he had two ones that really have gotten the league and the people up in air about how do you tackle somebody in a football game and make sure you don't land on top of them. We understand, like, when we look, we can see when somebody's power driving somebody and somebody's trying to do a Syracuse or like that.
Right.
But when you're naturally trying to tackle somebody, you just tackle. You're going to fall on top of them. You're running the tackling. I mean, he put his head out the way, put his shoulder, wrapped his arms up, dropped him and tackle. That's how we've always been taught to tackle. And now you're trying to move and tell people. I think that goes against physics. Like, how do you tackle somebody without falling on them? The Miami Dolphins player trying to sack Carr and try to twist his body, not to follow him, tore his ACL because his cleat was caught in the grass. I mean, so there was a conference call about this. Definitely, there was a conference call about this. So, what do you guys think? Do you think they're going to pull back? How do you feel about what rules they're trying to? We're trying to protect players and everything, but football is still football. It's still a contact sport. It's still a tackle sport. So, what do you guys feel about the first few weeks of this roughing the passer rule?
I mean, I think it's just crazy. I think in preseason they was calling it a lot. I thought they was just trying to, do something, see how it was. But now that it's, trickling over to the regular season, and it's costing games almost. Like that's a 15-yard penalty and a first down, and I got a sack, which would have made it third. I would have made it 3rd and 17. Now it's 1st and 10.
That's the hard part. You giving people the game.
Like that's a 35-yard exchange. It was 3rd and 17. Now it's a 15-yard penalty. Now it's 1st and 10. So I don't like it at all. And it's like, what do you want me to do? Just place him down, get a pillow for him, in a chair? Like I don't know what can I do.
There was a call in the Dallas game too. There was a roughing on Russell Wilson on a 3rd down, which was key because they were inside their 10-yard line. It changed the balance of field position for the whole rest of the first quarter.
Right.
They would have been punting out of the back of their end zone.
And that's what you're doing. You're getting in the way of players deciding the game.
In that game, it was so even. Something like that is just going to cause the game. It was so even. Nobody had a great offense going. Both quarterbacks was getting sacked. It was just a so even game when you throw those flags out there. I don't know if they need to change it to if I put my hands on him, he's down. Like I think that's the best. Right. Y'all trying to keep quarterbacks alive is what y'all trying to keep them playing the whole game.
But then it hurts the playmakers. Like if you look like Aaron Rodgers or escapability,
it hurts
Russell Wilson.
Yes,
like,
absolutely.
If
it takes the excitement out.
Take my, Houdini, pull magic tricks out.
It does hurt them, but
Carson Wentz for the Eagles.
Because what's going to happen is now you're going to have me tackling and putting my hand to the ground before the quarterback hits the ground, and when I break my wrist, then what? Because I'm coming with full speed. Yeah. So if Clay puts his hand down, his right hand down, that hand is going to hit hard.
Yeah.
So now I'm gonna end up breaking my wrist, and then what? Now I'm out.
Yeah.
Hey, listen, my advice to all the guys: keep on hitting.
Yeah.
Make them change it.
Nah, the defensive players keep doing what y'all doing. Because when y'all gonna change something up, and like you said, somebody's gonna get hurt, and they gonna be the ones to get hurt.
Yeah.
Because
if they put their hand, that's the only way how I cannot fall down on this guy. If I put my hand down first, so if I put my right hand down from Clay, I'm gonna fall, but my hand is gonna take all the impact. Yeah. So
it's
I'm
gonna
hurt
the shoulders, gonna hurt the hands, gonna hurt
the shoulders, and that wrist is something's gonna give eventually.
Listen, if you're gonna call it this tight and you don't want nobody to get tackled, when the defensive player has a straight shot at the guy and he's within like a couple yards, you need to say he's down.
Right.
Oh yeah, but
that's what you need to do. If you want to call this, say he's down. When I got a straight shot,
we got to get a flag for him?
Say he's down.
Yeah. But here, any contact to helmet's head, and here's the inconsistency, and here's the inconsistency with the league. You watched Monday Night Football, Tampa Bay versus the Steelers. Steelers got the win. Congratulations, Duke.
Needed it.
There was a pass thrown to a tight end for the Steelers, who caught that pass and went 75 yards for a touchdown.
Yes.
During that run, he took a stiff arm and stiff arm Conti. It may be one of the
a couple times.
Yeah, it may have been the all-time greatest stiff arms of all time. I
Yeah.
mean, one-on-one, mugged you. You're in the ground, upside your head, and I'm going to score a touchdown. Why isn't that a penalty?
If you really want to...
If you really talk about this, why isn't that a penalty? He just went up into somebody's face, his face mask, his helmet.
Could have snapped his
on
neck.
me. Yeah. He's out for the season. He got hurt. I don't know what hurt on him, but he's out for the season.
Probably his neck.
neck, my legs, and my back.
Right.
Yeah, so if you're talking about safety and player safety, and you're talking about, protection, how is this stiff arm still viable and legal in football?
Right.
And the defensive players are like, yo, they can go upside our heads anytime they want.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And especially when illegal hands to the face gets called back all the time inside the line. But once you catch a pass and run outside the field, you can go up in somebody's face. You can stiff arm somebody and not get a penalty. There seems to be inconsistency there.
Taking the physical nature out of the game.
Football's a physical game.
And what I don't like about it is that then other people gonna start speaking, like you said, like the Bens, the Aaron Rodgers, the Cam Newtons. Like once you put it on, like, oh, quarterbacks is got a flag, pull the flag, it's over. But then they're gonna talk. Russell Wilson, well, no, because I can do this and do that.
I could have got out of there. I got out of there plenty of times before. Why wouldn't you?
Because when you're moving, the lineman is just teeing off. He don't know what he grabbing. He don't know where he falling. You expect me to come full force and then stop.
Yeah,
how
Not
can that
gonna
happen?
happen. Not
Who
gonna
made
happen.
like where did y'all come up with this rule at? Like
Yeah.
what was
Man,
y'all?
they trying
What
to-
round table was y'all sitting at? And everybody agreed to this rule.
They are what they doing is, and we gotta separate ourselves because we thinking like players. Let's for 1 second, let's think about
That's business.
the
That's
NFL.
money,
the
as a
NFL. If like
Quarterback league.
these quarterbacks. Listen, Cousins just got $84 million.
Yeah.
I need him
Guaranteed,
playing every
yeah.
game. If I'm the owner,
Yeah.
I'm not signing that check. I feel bad, and he's out for 6 weeks.
Garoppolo,
Yeah.
you just signed a chick and he's gone.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you still got to play football.
Oh yeah, you gotta play football.
And
I get where they coming from, trying to make safe to keep the safety, but how they are going about it, like certain things, you can't stop these guys from colliding. You can't stop them from tackling. You can't do it, and what they're doing is they're trying to keep. Let's say, for an example, this is 2018. Okay, they want to go back to the table in 2028 after they thought that they cleaned all this physical, these hits and helmet to helmet. So these guys can't come back to the table saying that they have CTE.
Yeah, CTE.
Well, guess what? Last time I checked, you can hit the ground real hard and get a headache or a concussion. You don't have to hit helmet to helmet with anybody. So that's where I think that they're going, and they're going to try to break down these plays and these players so they can try to exclude them out of that whole CTE thing later. But you can't do that.
Yeah.
When I hit the ground, I hit the ground.
Yeah. And that's, football is going to be football.
Yeah.
There's going to be some contact, and I think you just have to have a judgment call where you just can't be like, you fall on top of him, like the quarterback is, it's a roughing the 15-yard penalty. Like, you can't fall on top of him. It's just impossible to tackle somebody like that. They're just going to have to put it in the discretion of the officials. Say, hey, we kind of know when somebody's trying to, hurt somebody,
Right,
like when you're sacking. And sometimes it just can't be because it's a big hit. It's a big hit that, oh, snap. Oh, that's a penalty. No, it's a big, clean hit. Definitely. Well, look, we're going to jump into a quick break, and then we're going to come back and talk about a few more topics here on the ranch. We're definitely going to do that.
See you in a minute.
We'll be back live from the ranch. Sports Talk, live for the culture.
You.
Welcome back. Live from the ranch. You know how we do. Got the wings flowing. Got the brews flowing.
Wing Adora.
What brews we got here? We tasting today here, Jonathan?
We got the foreign objects.
We got the foreign objects.
Yeah, we got the foreign objects.
Wet gravity, New England.
We got the glitter parts
from Levante.
Big
shout out Levante Brewing.
Westchester.
Glitter parts. Check it out right there in Westchester. Locally brewed. Check them out. They're good, delicious. But hey, we come back. We're getting the NFL, but we got a big college game tonight.
Real big.
Real big college game.
Big as it gets, right?
Yup. Up in the state of Pennsylvania. Up in
Whiteout.
Nittany Valley. Happy Valley, Nittany Lions. It will be the whiteout. It'll be 100,000 plus.
Wrong.
The Ohio State University Buckeyes versus the Penn State Nittany Lions, and this is a big game early. Buckeyes are 4, Penn State's 9. This is a big game for these programs. Ambition to be in that Final Four. To be in that college playoff, and it's taken over a different overtone this year because of the offenses. Right. The offenses for both teams, and Penn State's really been the last few years, but Ohio State's always been known as a defense run smash mouth. But Ohio State this year, their offense has been really prolific. Like they've been scoring a lot of points, and they say they have the best quarterback, Dwayne Haskins. They say this is the best quarterback Urban Meyer's had in his program there at Ohio State, and the other guys were college quarterbacks. They were guys, Claudel. I mean, they were just quarterbacks,
right?
Program quarterbacks.
We didn't look at them being stars on Sunday.
But yeah, they're going to hold. They can get the Sunday, hold a clipboard, visor, get a pension, the whole 9 yards. But this kid, Dwayne Haskins, they're saying is a legitimate pro quarterback. Has some pro ability, has the arm strength, has the arm talent. Also has the mobility to handle a SEC defense. Going through.
Usually that means something, right? They usually equals to Sunday, right?
Yeah, equals to Sunday, definitely. So I mean, who's this a bigger game for? Ohio State has had his issues with Urban Meyer, suspended for 3 games. This year, coming in as I predicted 3 games. We got Penn State, who has been very successful. They've really been playing well offensively over the past few seasons. They beat Ohio State here 2 years ago, but has not quite cracked that college playoff. And it's been some questionable, times they've been, held out or, not gotten opportunity. So, what's going on here? Who do you feel this game is bigger on, more pressure on? Ohio State's been very successful, what's going on this year, but they have a national championship that's been in the playoffs, before. But Penn State quite hasn't gotten there yet. What's your take on that?
Penn State you just can't with football. This is just hard, man. It's just especially that college. Like you could be the best team and still not get there. It's like it's just what it is. Based on the teams you played, and then you call yourself playing a big team early, but they end up not being a big team late, so you don't get the credit for them. And it's like it's just like some of them games. But I believe Ohio State should pull it off. But it's gonna be a crazy fight. Good game though.
High scoring. Take the over.
I definitely will go with the over in this game.
Definitely. I want to shout out Omar Madison checking in.
What's up, Big O?
Big Steelers fan, Duke. He's part of Steeler Nation.
Yeah, he already knows then. I don't even need to know his name.
Grant Eldridge checking in. Grant.
What's up, Grant?
Big Cowboys fan, Cowboy Nation. Grant. How's it going there? Yeah. Also owns a bounce facility for kids to play at.
Okay.
Grant, you'll post your bounce thing up there. Very good, family oriented. Have birthday parties and stuff. Very, very, very good. I'm looking at it from the point of like Penn State. Come on, it's now or never. Like you've been recruiting. If you want to get to the Final Four, you got Ohio State in your building. 100,000 whiteout.
Yeah.
It's time. It's time for Penn State to say, "Hey, we're a program that can compete for a national championship." And it's time for them to say, "We're just not very good in the hunt. We can be the spoiler, and then we come around and debate whether we should have got an opportunity or not. Like I always say in boxing, knock the guy out. You don't have to worry about the judges.
At all.
Here's an opportunity in your house to knock somebody out.
Mm-hmm.
Look, when they want to, you want to go, hey, we beat Ohio State, and sometimes in college that didn't even work. When you win head to head, they still use other formulas.
Right.
Usually, who's going to bring the most fans and TV ratings? But Penn State can say, look, we knocked them out. Like, we beat Ohio State right here in our building. So if we run the table and become Big Ten champions, we need to be in the Final Four. I mean, it's got to start today. I mean, this is
and
an
I'm right with
opportunity
you.
for them.
I'm right with you. Listen, look, we all know this game right here is 11 on 11. You got your coaches. I got my coaches. Nothing separates us, right? But what's supposed to separate everything is when you come to my house. When you come to my house with 100,000 strong in there, I can't let you get out.
Right.
Man.
I can't let you escape.
Yeah. This is
And you got to know how it feels if you get out of there. Psychologically,
Yeah.
you might think this team can come in here every year after that and do that to you. You can't get up out of there with that whiteout.
Yeah.
I can't let you escape with 110,000
Yeah.
on my side. You can't leave. I can't let you get out.
And that's what I'm saying. Like,
Not with the W.
No.
this is Penn State. Like the Roots say, it's now or never. Like, you got to come get this Ohio State team. People are looking at, because Ohio State's going to get the benefit of the doubt because they played there before,
Right.
beaten Alabama before, so they're definitely going to get the benefit of the doubt. You're going to have to come up here, knock them out on your home turf, and then run the table.
Yeah, you wanna be able to say if you Penn State, how did Ohio State get there? And y'all didn't watch the game.
Yeah,
You want to be able to say that, and that's what you're gonna have to be able to say. In order to get there, because like you said, based on the viewers and everything, you might already be counted out, even though you're a big game, big team. There's other big teams out there.
Yeah, I'm
Definitely one to tune into.
Yeah,
put it that
7:30. We'll be here.
way. You don't see it, you probably need to DVR it.
I'll be here at the ranch. I'll be here at 7:30, checking out the game. One of the interesting things that has been going on in college, they kind of had a rule change, and with the rule change, they have allowed transfers to be able to transfer with less restrictions. Before in the past, schools can block the schools you could transfer to. You were restricted, but now they're saying with the new transfer rule that you can transfer and you don't have to ask for permission. And the school has 2 business days to enter your name into a database that you're eligible for transferring. And they have also stated that they have changed the redshirt rule where you can play 4 games in a season, the first 4 games, and still be able to take a redshirt. Now, there's been pros and cons on both sides of this argument, giving the student athlete more freedom. What do you think about just giving the student athlete more freedom? How do you feel about that?
Well, it's a long time. It's something was supposed to have been in place for a long time. Why? Because back in the day, it was you come sit in my living room. It wasn't about can I play as a freshman. It was just about you're a part of who we are.
Yeah.
And even if that means you have to wait until you're a junior to play, then that's what we're going to do. Fast forward, when you come sit in a kid's house, you can play freshman year. Come on, And if you can't promise them that, because let's be serious for a second, that has been told to kids that they can play when they leave high school. Has it happened every time? No. Right? So if you tell me that and I come to your school and I find out that wasn't what you said, or not, excuse me, it's what you said, but wasn't
True.
You're
stuck.
Now I can say, okay, I can go.
Yeah.
So why wouldn't that be? Instead of me, because what you told me and what you sold to me is I can play. Right? And I did everything that I'm supposed to do, and you just wanted to keep 4 or 5 guys at this particular position.
Insurance.
Yeah.
Right.
I don't want to be in insurance when I know I can play every Saturday and I know I'm a starter. I don't want to do that. So guess what? So I can leave. But let's not forget about giving these kids power and where they come from. Not all of them, but a lot of them. You know, we look for, you know, them to be to go through some sort of struggle. They're not into that now, right? No. So now it goes, oh no, coach gave me, you know, I don't think that he did this right. I don't think that he did this right. I'm leaving. It wasn't about that and you planned. It was about me teaching you lessons real quick. And you might needed to learn some of these lessons in 3 weeks. Yeah. Right. So that's the downside of it. Yeah. But in terms of you telling me I can come and play and I'm figuring out that it's a lie, you gotta let me go. Yeah. And then I can go start for somebody else and their program is just as good as yours. Right. Let me out of there.
Yeah. But I want to say Kelly, I had posted up Kelly Bryant, who was just is really, you know, right there. Clemson's quarterback. He's lost 2 games. He's been playing this year. Clemson decided to go with the freshman as a starter, Lawrence. So Kelly Bryant is going to use this rule to transfer out. Now, some people were saying, well, he should be, he's a senior, so he can transfer out and still, you know, play at another spot. Some people were saying, well, he should be dedicated to his teammates. He should stay there with his team, and he's abandoning his team or whatever. He got beat out. He should just take it and ride the pine. Other people were saying, well, look, he still has aspirations of playing on Sundays or being a quarterback, so he can take this rule as opportunity. I mean, it's a big impact on Clemson because Clemson is starting the freshman with I got the veteran backing up in case something happens. Right. If it gets hostile or he gets hurt, I bring in the veteran right there because, you know, this freshman kid's going to be here a little bit longer. You know, probably the freshman kid has a higher upside than Kelly. So absolutely. Let me get him playing, like you said, Duke. Right. So he's playing, so he's going to stay here and feel. And this guy's a senior, you know, stay there. But he is. Brian said, "Look, I'm looking to transfer out. I'm using this rule. I still want to play. He said nothing against Lawrence. He won the job, whatever. But I still think I can play and help a team as a starter. So he's looking to move out for Clemson, which kind of changes Clemson a little bit because they don't have those 2 quarterbacks now as they're trying to make a championship run. If something happens, they have to. I don't know who they're going to bring up off their third string or somebody redshirting to play.
Yeah, me with it. Yeah, I think he should leave, but I wanted to touch on something you said about the lessons that it's so much deeper now, you know, than before because, for one, dads are around. You know, that plays a big part in everything. You know, you can tell mom whatever mom wants to hear. Right. But when a dad is around, the real questions are being asked. Only thing mom want to know is he safe? Yeah. You know, can I call him? Absolutely. You know, you give mom and him a cell phone. Mom is cool. You know, you give him a cell phone for mom to call every day. Mom is good. I can call him all day. He's safe. You know, dad wants to know a little bit more. Yeah.
Dad's digging deep.
Yeah, dad's digging deep because dad had a high school career. Right. You know, dad might have played a little bit on Saturday, you know, so he did a little bit, you know, and in a way, you know, most of us, it's not good, but most of us, we play through our kids, you know, so with that being said, it's more being taught. The lessons are already being taught. Right. I don't gotta get to college for you to teach me a lesson. You know, my dad is here in the house every day. He's been teaching me lessons. You know, I've been cleaning up. I've been doing this. I've been doing a lot. You know, at home. So that lesson thing is like, you know, and then you told me I'm not used to getting let down for one. Right. Because dad is here. Yeah. You know, when dad wasn't there and dad was saying, oh, I'll be home. I'll be back in 2 weeks. I'll be back next week and you don't see dad for 3 months. You know, they were lessons being learned. Like, look, everything ain't promised to you. Right. So when those kind of quarterbacks and players got to college, they knew already since they was 12 that everything wasn't promised, you know, whereas though dad is home, so everything is being promised. Dad say, I'm coming, I'm calling off work, I'll be at your game. He calling off work, he gonna be at your game, you know, so that's where the frustration is coming with the kids. But I definitely think they should be able to opt out. I definitely think they should be able to opt out because I think it's going to happen more and more. Well,
they kind of put control there. Like the quarterback, the prospect quarterbacks kind of have control now. Like they put it into a situation where, look, I'm a blue chip quarterback. Right. You come in here, you're going to recruit this, you know, guy to play. And kind of look at Alabama with the young guy number 13. Can't forget how to pronounce his name, Talanga. who came in, won the national championship game for him. He's starting. The other kid was looking; he was going to transfer out and not play, 4 games. But in fairness, and one thing about if you go back to back in the day, and had a conversation with Penn State, Joe Paterno had Todd Blackledge in his office. And had Jeff Hostetler.
Oh yeah,
you remember Jeff Hostetler?
That insurance is beautiful, makes you feel good.
Yeah. So he said, look. He brought them both in. He said, look, Jeff, I'm going to go with Todd Blackledge. If you're going to transfer out, you can transfer out. Talk to down in West Virginia. You can go down there. And Jeff Hostetler left Penn State, transferred to West Virginia, end up marrying the West Virginia coach. His daughter down there, whatever. And Hostetler went on, back up, won a Super Bowl with the Giants. Hostetler, Blackledge didn't turn out to be a pros, but a good at college now, so you can hear him in a day. But you had those conversations when you recruit back then, guys are holding it back, and back then was a little bit different. Back then you had 115, 116 guys on scholarship.
Right.
And now you only have 85 guys on scholarship. Back then, all right.
You were loaded. Loaded.
Jonathan, when you talk about dad and mom, are like, where are you going? You want scholarship. Yeah. Even though you may not expect
Jonathan. Yeah, you're not going anywhere.
I'm not coming out of my pocket for this college education at Penn State.
You staying where you're going to stay there.
Listen, you going to, yeah.
So that
man came in this house and sat here. You're going to stay there.
If they want you, they're scholarship.
Yeah.
So definitely. So you look at that and say, hey, well, maybe different. Like, yeah, but you're gonna stay there and take that free education.
Oh yeah, you're gonna get that. That was then. That was then.
Yeah. And I think,
and now everybody plays on TV. Yeah. So everybody's on. It's like 100 stations streaming, everything like that.
I think we're gonna see more of this. Like in the last 10 years, we only can really name what Baltimore quarterback and
Flacco.
Flacco went.
Well, Troy Aikman was a big. Troy Aikman was a transfer.
I mean, in the last 10 years, we've seen him and Cam do it. Cam left.
He had the issue at Florida
because Tebow was there.
Florida and all of that. So nobody's not doing a movie about that Florida team. You had Cam, Tebow, the murderer, Jenkins. Like somebody needs to talk about. About that team. Like
you might not want to go that deep. You might pop up missing. You know what I mean?
I'm waiting for the
going on.
30 for 30 on that Florida
some things
team.
going on in these campuses. We probably need to leave it alone.
They might wait till Cam out of the league. They might wait till Cam out of the league.
I'm waiting for that 30 for 30 on that Florida team right there. But different, like as you say, another example. Troy Aikman, Oklahoma kid. Oklahoma ran the wishbone. And it's funny how sports work. So we're breaking the bone. We got a big, strong arm quarterback here. We got Troy Aikman. We're going to play that. Troy is enough of an athlete, but we're still going to throw Barry Switzer, Oklahoma. Troy goes up against Jimmy Johnson's Miami Hurricanes. They come in. Jerome Brown at defensive tackle. Troy gets his leg broken. He's out. This kid called Jamil Holloway.
Jamil. Which bone?
From Cali.
With the fur standing on the sideline.
Gucci crutches.
Gucci crutches, Barry Switzer, and Bosworth, the whole gang.
The full-length Mac. And Jamil came from money.
That
was the whole thing.
Oh, yeah.
The other guys, the quarterbacks, didn't come from money, so they tried to hustle and got caught. That's a whole other story. But yeah, so Jamil comes in, back to the bone, win a national championship. They're like, well, Troy, the kid then came in. But, hey, let me talk around. Go to UCLA. He goes to UCLA, and the rest is history. Like, we're going. And they were saying in Sports Illustrated, they said Oklahoma's the only team that can maybe transfer out a potential Heisman Trophy winner and still be legit.
Right.
That's the kind of talent you have gained up. But I think it's just you have to have balance because there's really no other opportunity to get to pro football through college. Like, there's no farm league or whatever. And if you really feel like it's not, look, I got beat out here. I know you talk about staying with your team, but I still want to play. Flacco went down to play at Delaware, them into the playoffs, whatever. End up going pro.
You can't. The big thing is you can't deny these kids. Yeah. If they want to play, you can't deny them that. You can't keep somebody there, and then they're supposed to.
The hot streak of teams be ruining so many kids, and like I think it's like more on. Like dads being there and having that say so.
Oh yeah.
Like it was a time like
it's vital.
Like USC, like Florida, like Miami. It worked out for all the running backs in Miami because Frank Gore kept getting injured, but they had so many. All our running backs kept going pro.
Yeah,
they would play 1 year, then go pro.
Right,
McGahee,
McGahee got hurt, still went pro.
Right.
Gore,
Gore. Who else? Played with him? Clinton Portis.
But they were stacked up.
It helped them because Gore kept getting injured.
Right.
But what if Gore doesn't get injured?
Right.
We may not see them.
And you can't tell me they weren't thinking about going someplace else.
Right. And same as USC had a stable of running backs. Like they had so many running backs.
Well, the position in the 70s of glamour was the SC tailback.
Yeah.
Student body left, student body right.
Yeah, easy. Quick pitch, whatever.
Yeah.
So it's like it's so many, and if you don't, you got to stop. Kids got to stop buying into just the big name team.
Yeah, well,
because there's so many teams that y'all could play for and be on the field.
But
I'd rather be on the field than be on a team that's undefeated.
Yeah.
But
that's
you want to play.
But
you want to play.
But we gotta understand what comes with that. You know what I'm saying? Some schools they eating steak.
Yeah.
And some schools eating pizza.
Look,
you know what I mean?
I'd rather be a nice medium-sized fish in a small pond than a medium-sized fish
at 18
in a giant pond.
Yeah, at 18, we don't know. We trying to figure it out. But look, before we even get into the next, we want to shout out. We got some Camden legends. Mr. Reggie Welch. What's up, brother?
What's going on?
What's going
class
Reggie?
of 92, brother. Almost 3,000 points in high school.
Oh,
you
wow.
already know.
You was doing work.
Oh, plenty of work. Plenty of work.
He was a gunner.
Three-point line?
Everything.
Yeah.
He was a gunner.
Outside.
Everything.
He was gunning.
He was just a scorer. He just
Everything.
Get buckets.
Everything.
He was a gunner.
Stat sheets.
What does assists look like?
Listen, stat sheets from freshman to senior.
Yeah.
Stat sheets.
When he dropped 20, when he dropped 25, how many assists he had? 3.
Man, listen, you want to fill the points up. There you go. And also,
I'm just messing with you, Reggie.
Temple's own Camden High, Vic Karstarfin. What's up, Vic? How you doing,
going
man?
on, Vic?
How you doing? Oh, we got Breon Johnson and Keith Moore. Hey, Keith, what's up, buddy? We got Keith Moore tuning in.
We got Tim Tucker. What's
Keith
up,
Moore's
my spot?
cousin Keith.
My
That's cousin Keith
spot
Moore.
up shooter, T Turd. What's up,
going
brother?
on?
How you doing down there in Maryland?
Definitely. But it's going to be interesting to see, moving forward with these rules. And
I like it though. I like it. It's a plus.
But they're lacking a lot of things because I think they're feeling the pressure of everybody knows the NCAA is a multi-billion-dollar organization with this money, with these games, this basketball championship coming on at 9:00 with entertainers and performers and concerts and all this kind of stuff. Everybody's like, come on now, so you got to at least have some leeway. So they're letting the basketball guys get an agent if you don't go. You can still talk or whatever because they know they're worried about leagues coming up. Give me $75,000 a year to work on my game or go overseas or whatever.
They were supposed to do that. You can't lock somebody in to potentially getting money. And these kids, they are. You can't say you dealing with a 17, 18-year-old, 19-year-old kid, right? You can't say okay. You want to go pro, okay, and it doesn't work out, and you just shut the door on them. They 19 years old. How don't you, if they want to enter pro, and they figure out that it's not the thing for them to do, man, let these kids back in school.
And I think they saw the savvy. I think they saw from this last NBA draft. This NBA draft was like middle class and upper. Like it wasn't like the hardship.
Right.
We don't have anything in the refrigerator trying to go. It's like, we got options. Like if I don't play basketball, my dad's an executive. My mom, my dad played in the league. My mom's an executive. We're gonna do something. I can go overseas.
Dad's is here now.
Right.
So the conversations is different. Before it was all right. Get in the cars, go to the league.
Yeah.
Now it's you know what. Don't worry about the league. Let's get the cars, get the full ride. The conversation's being taught to your kid different now. You know, so that's what it's more about. Look, you can come out of college still making $100,000 your first night.
Listen, last time I checked, when you come up out of that major university, you don't have no college debt, you winning.
Yeah, exactly. That's the whole
right, because it costs you 100 stacks to go.
It costs you a mortgage just to go.
Yeah. So if you come out of there with nothing, you already ahead.
That's what and that's the plan.
And that's the whole thing. The thing, it's really interesting because if you look at the way people look at athletics and amateurs, whatever. Like if you say your cousin, let's say if your son or daughter or whatever got a music scholarship, they're a great trumpet player, and they played a part of a trumpet band in the college. Or I'm in the collegiate band or whatever. I'm a music, but I play with the quintet. We're a jazz quartet. I play trumpet in it, and they're selling the arena out for $50,000 a night with your son with solos as a lead as a lead trumpet on this quartet. They're printing CDs. They're making all this, and they play. Then all of a sudden, somebody says, "Hey, we want your." Sony says, "No, we want him to come play trumpet for us right now.
We going to the next level.
Like,
we want to go to the next level.
No, we don't forget about that. We want to do an album with you right now. The proceeds, we're going to put you on a European jazz tour, the whole 9 yards. What are you going to tell your son? Like, what are you going to tell your daughter? Like, stay in college in the jazz quartet?
Listen, the old way, no, this is too much for you. You need to stay here. Like, no. I might have to, listen, how long they going to keep you? Yeah. Dad needs to find something to do with his job for 3 months. We going overseas. Yeah. You can make up the money for my salary, all that good stuff. We different now. You know
so
it's
just interesting when you get into the point of athletics, how the quote unquote amateurism or the supposedly amateurism goes in, and how much does it work or whatever. So we're gonna jump in. Tiger Woods.
Tiger. Big homie.
He got his arms up because I want to give him a hug. That's why. That's why.
He got a.
Happy you back, brother. I'm happy he's back, man. They tried
journey 5 years. I mean, between victories, surgeries, and things.
Yeah, man.
Just coming back.
Oh yeah. Can't forget that. Hey.
And it's interesting because. The American stories of redemption. You fall off. Some return.
You fall off. Hold on. You fall off. They try to bury you. Then you got to crawl yourself up. Then they pick you back up again.
Like once you become, humble. You're like, okay, we root for him now. Tiger comes back. He's been playing close. He's been playing really well. Mm-hmm. He has been playing really well. I mean, he's been playing really well, close on a few majors.
I'm happy for you, Tiger.
He was definitely knocking on the door a couple of times.
Yeah. And he comes through, plays well on Saturday, as you usually do. He blows you out on Saturday and comes home on Sunday. You know what I mean? That's usually his MO, method operandi, to win these tournaments. And it was interesting because he had the gallery, the full, everybody behind him, and it was just a whole different scenario behind Tiger, a whole different vibe or feel, that he was so dominant out of nowhere. And then, what happened with the ladies. He had an addiction.
Hey, man, young man, no wife, and rich.
Yeah.
What you want to do?
Then he had a wife and it kept going.
Is that what he did?
Yeah.
Okay.
But you see the golf club? See the golf club at his car, man.
So but hey, that's pro sports athletes. What goes on? But everybody was like shocked.
Okay.
but definitely. Do you think he's in a running now to look at some majors now? You think Tiger is back? He's been playing well from all my golf people.
You want to hit it?
Look, all right. Golf is not football. It's not basketball. It's not hockey. It's not all that stuff. All right. So you can, if you go about, and you still got to take care of your body and take care of yourself.
Yeah, a lot of the new guys, the Spice, and these younger cats coming after Tiger are like that, in shape.
Yeah,
golfers.
Well, listen, he set the blueprint. So Tiger. Hey, they said Tiger was benching 300 pounds. He might be the first one ever to do that. I don't. So they following. This is Tiger's thing, right? But listen, I will take a veteran any day in any sport when it's time to win.
When you hit that perfect match of age, you still got the
it's all I need to do, right? When I'm a veteran, right? The difference is, I might still be able to have a beer and get a good night's sleep and still beat you.
Yeah.
You doing too much thinking because I know I'm good already when I'm older. You know what I mean?
Right.
So, but the answer to the question is, it was never about if, he couldn't play golf.
Right.
We know that.
Right.
It was the things that he was going through.
Right.
The back surgeries. The private life, the family life, all of that. That stuff, listen, the last time I checked, right, that can put a damper on anything that you're trying to do.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm not going to throw him under the bus because he was going through life, right? And it seems to be that he's found his health and his mental. Mm-hmm. So when you got a person as great as him that finds your health and your mental, how you going, there's no closing no doors on somebody like that. You know what I mean? You can't. Definitely. The door is open, and whatever he's going to do, if he gets in that groove, he's going to defeat everybody. And guess who knows it? Everybody.
Right.
So it's really up to him, and his well-being and his health and his mental state. You can't. Tiger is Tiger. How long has he been Tiger? Like all these other guys, they following him.
Right.
Yeah,
I got a couple of different things on it. First I wanted to touch on that. A lot of people saying, "Oh, Tiger's back, but he's not doing that well. He's not doing this. He's not doing that." Everybody got to realize that Tiger's still not 24 no more. Like no matter what sport it is, you still playing against 24-year-olds. So you still can't hit the ball the way that you was hitting it at 24.
Right, absolutely.
So you still got to put that in there. And also, what went on with Tiger with his life, how you touched on, it's not football, it's not a physical thing, but what he went through, the mental spot, the difference between football, basketball, hockey, you can block that stuff out because there's so much going on. I'm focused. I'm trying to focus. I got one thing. This is like every time I get up there and swing the golf club, it's like the game-winning shot.
Yeah, we can't forget, like, this is an isolated individual sport.
This is what I'm saying.
It's like boxing.
So the focus.
No teammates.
There's no teammates. So the focus. That's what I'm saying. Every time he gets up and swing, it's like a game-winning shot.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So the focus level has to be so high, just for this moment every time. It's not like basketball. I'm playing defense. It's not even on my mind no more.
True.
I'm shooting a jump shot. It's not on my mind no more. After the tip-off, I'm only thinking about it before the tip-off. Once the tip-off happened, I'm not worried about it no more.
Right.
Whereas though every time Tiger, like, it's still on his brain because it's so isolated. The sport is so isolated. He don't have nobody tapping him, talking to him about something about dinner or whatever else. It's just him, the club, and his brain. So he had, like you said, he had to figure that out. And that's what took so long. Kobe went to court. Kobe went to court for his case and then came home and he said, "Look, this is the only thing I can control. I can't control the case."
Right.
He went and scored 40-something points. You can't do that. You can't have a lights out game in golf after going to trial for something. Because your brain is all over the place.
Well, he was in a trial of public opinion, wasn't he?
No, I'm not saying he was even in the trial. I was just stating the difference.
The drama.
Yeah, the drama.
Your focus.
Your brain is moving on it too much. Whereas those sports, you're isolated.
Right.
Whereas though the other sports, you have a group. Y'all talking about other things. They trying to keep your mind off of it.
We listen. The thing that we can't do is, and you guys know this. We've either been played for sports in college, high school, some professional, but you heard from the best. Once you step in that realm of the team,
right?
Everything leaves,
right?
Right. That's when you get a break. That's
right.
no different.
Right.
And once you get in the locker room, and even when we get for Sunday football,
listen.
Once we get to watch Sunday football,
you're
not thinking about nothing else.
When we come in here,
you're free.
When we come down here,
Yeah.
we free.
You're
I
free.
feel free.
You're
You know what
free.
I'm saying?
Exactly.
I'm with two people, but when we come here, I'm not thinking about nothing else.
And
Now, when I leave out, it may be in my brain.
And
But
that's
once
what
we
it's
get
about.
down here, we free.
And that's what it's about, and that's what it's about, man.
But if I was by myself, I would still be thinking about it. Whereas though that's probably what took Tiger the time.
Hey, listen, one of my old heads always told me, Duke, I don't care how much money you have, ain't no fun by yourself.
Nah.
Yeah.
So, take
Our
that.
best of times, like I've always said in life, the best of times is experience you experience with people. It's not
Right.
an objective thing you bought. But when you think back and remember, you think about, remember when we did this? Remember when we won that? Remember when we beat them? Remember we was at this club?
Yeah.
Remember we did? It was like, who was you with? Like, that's the main thing. And at the time when you always been that singular, by yourself athlete, and we all have a role to play, I think LeBron said, if you don't want to roll, play golf or box. You know what I mean? If you don't want to be a role on a team or have a situation, those are two things you do. You golf, you box, that's what you do if you don't want to roll. And because it's all on you. Like, you can still swim and do track and be part of a 4x100 or something along those lines. But, yeah, you can definitely. But thinking about boxing, major announcement, HBO is getting out of the boxing game. They're moving away. The 2018.
Showtime put him to rest.
There's a lot.
I think
of
the
things,
boxers put him to rest.
I think a lot of things.
people
Floyd
with
might have
Showtime?
put him to rest.
With that
A lot-
Showtime deal.
It was
Yeah.
a deal. It was an AT&T bought HBO. It's emerged a lot of things that have gone into it. One of the things that I've noticed is saying these cats don't want to fight each other anymore. So the programming that you're getting, I mean, they try to move it to after dark, late night things of that, different generation. your boxing, maybe UFC. But boxing's been as popular as it's been in a long time.
Yeah, boxing is a little hot right now.
Yeah, a little hot right now.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah, it is. It is.
But they don't see the cost of doing boxing and as who's turning into HBO for boxing. You know what I mean?
Right.
As you say, okay, we're doing this boxing promotion, we're doing this thing. It's not driving why you're watching HBO.
Right.
Game of Thrones and stuff like that.
Oh,
Things like that. It's
Listen,
more
we
about
in an era now. If you got something on TV, you better have something on TV.
Yeah.
Well, it's not a lot of it's also not a lot of pay-per-view no more. The way it used to be.
And they were the pay-per-view. They really modernized pay-per-view.
Right, they were the only pay-per-view, and it's not a lot of pay-per-view fighters. It's
and
not
now
enough.
Showtime has it.
I blame the marketing of boxing because there's no reason why, I was looking at a fight. It was Robert Eastern and the guy. They were but it was two big. One was had one loss, and the other one was undefeated.
Okay.
And he fought. He beat his last fight. He beat Adrian Broner his last fight. The other guy.
Right.
And he fought Robert Easton, and it wasn't a pay-per-view fight, and he was fighting for two belts. Right. Unification. Like, how doesn't pretty much one loss between two fighters
and they were trying,
and a unification don't be pay-per-view?
What they tried to do.
Mikey Garcia was his name. I'm sorry, Mikey Garcia.
When they were trying to do the backstories. When they followed the fighters like the week
21.
Like they used to
24/7.
24/7. They used to try to do the backstory. They were taking a page out of NFL films with Steve Sable and NFL. How they used to, record the NFL, put it to music, put the backdrop to it, put a story behind it, kind of soap opera shit up enough to go in there to grab your secondary and tertiary fans, saying, "Oh, I'm gonna check that out" or whatever. But they haven't had, I think, the ability to tell great stories and about fighters and great fighters fight each other. And at the time, right now, I guess from what I'm seeing is that, okay, what it takes to pay these guys, to promote these guys, the money they want.
Right.
How many viewers is that actually bringing to HBO?
Right. That's the end. That's the end all be all right there.
But
as a company,
as a company. But sometimes you gotta take losses.
Loss leading because it brings you in. Because
sometimes you just got to do that. And okay, this is not bringing in that much. You might like at a store, you might not be making that much money off of this product, but this product, sometimes you just.
But if you look at the Olympics,
it got to balance out.
The Summer Olympics doesn't carry boxing the way it used to when I grew up. Sugar Ray Leonard coming up, the stories behind the Olympic boxing team.
Yeah.
You go to the Summer Games, they barely cover boxing the way it used to.
I only know Olympic gold medals once he hit the pros.
It's more about synchronized ballet and stuff like that. Along those lines, you don't really
stuff
have.
They advertising darts better than
stuff. There's more stuff they inventing now that's popular than was happened in the past. But
But I think the
back to what I said before, nothing lasts forever. 45 years is a long time.
45 years is a long time.
It's a long time.
But I think, and this is me, in anything if you just walked out here right now and said, look, I'm going to race this guy. I'm going to go play this guy one-on-one in basketball. I'm going to do this. Oh, we about to square up. Right here, more people gonna come out there to see you square up.
Oh yeah,
than anything else you gonna do
listen,
with somebody. That's just the draw. Like if you go,
but see,
it wasn't like 3:00. Such and such is playing each other in one-on-one basketball. No, when we was in high school, such and such o'clock. Oh, Big Block about to fight Junior.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Just on this man on my.
But that's what's lost. That's what's lost now. You and I think and what Floyd did, which was a beautiful thing, is he cut the middleman out.
Oh, exactly.
So
no Don Kings.
But what I think is that the other fighters, they might not have realized, the blueprint that he set up to do that.
It was specifically for him.
Right.
But
they can do the same thing. They can do the same thing he's doing, but I don't know if they think that they're ready to do that because this guy right here has been doing what he's been doing for me for 7 or 8 years. I might
but you
feel
also gotta-
obligated to
yeah,
him.
Bob
You know what I
Arum's
mean?
Top Rank has a deal with ESPN
But you also gotta
so
know
a lot
what
of
you're
those good
doing.
fighters going
Oh,
to
yeah.
ESPN.
Well,
You
that's
also
the
gotta
thing.
know what you're doing
But
because
that's the thing. Can you be a
Right.
businessman
Right.
and box at the same time? Floyd
Right.
got that mastered. You
Right,
see what I'm saying? And they probably can't do that.
right, you gotta know
see
what
I'm
you're
saying?
doing at the same time. If that's not your lane, you don't just jump in it. You
Right,
know,
right.
You stick to what you know how to stick to. You know, you've been doing this. Like maybe the newer kids that's just getting in the Olympics can start venturing off and doing both sides. But
Oh,
I
you
don't
can
Right.
market your own self now.
Yeah.
Well, that's
Like, we had the
that's
show,
where
like the whole
Floyd
thing. You
did
got
the whole.
that. You have the whole aspect of it. I mean, shout out to my Penwood people, athletic director, Rap Curry.
Right.
But he said,
What's up, Mr. Curry?
Rap said, we're doing our own Penwood athletic gear. We're not doing Under Armour.
Yeah, for
He's
what?
telling the kids, like, yo, we're going to make our own label, our own design.
Yeah, you got a name for yourself. You got
Making a lane for yourself.
Mr. Morgan, how are you, man?
Oh, Cheryl Wesley.
I miss
Thanks
you.
for checking in, Cheryl. Cheryl's big time. She Eagle Nation, big Eagle Nation. She
Uh-oh.
comes at our Cowboys fans' necks on a regular basis, but I still love you, Cheryl. You come at us all day, every day, 24/7. She got more memes than the Bible got Psalms about the Cowboys. So she be coming at us. But yeah, so I think now it's to the point where, hey, ESPN took a big, chunk of the boxing, real, top-notch matches, and with streaming and all these other ventures to show it, I think it's going to be like a boxer and other ventures are going to look to Hulu or Amazon Prime or something like that to say, hey, let's put this together.
YouTube TV,
The production, because actually the production of boxing, when you come to think of it, when you're not paying the pay-per-view or the purses are part of that thing, it's like you don't need that many cameras, that many announcers, like
Right.
to do boxing, of all sports to cover.
Right.
It's
Only
not
thing
a
I'll
lot of-
say is for the entrepreneur boxer, get ready, get on your stuff because
I still think there's a big, and maybe just because of me, the way I grew up, a big, and I'm still into it. I still think for boxing out there, I still think two guys squaring up in the ring is still a draw. I just think it's just
It is, but it's just the way you got to market these
Yeah.
kids. Like, and that's the problem. Like, it was no way Robert Easter and Mikey Garcia wasn't pay per view. It just didn't
Yeah.
make sense.
Yeah.
They got one loss between each other. You know,
right.
Like, and it was only two pretty much undefeated fighters. It was only not one belt. It was a unification.
Right.
All the belts were up. Like, this makes no sense.
So
that it wasn't pay per view.
To me, it's more of a advertising and marketing.
It's a
thing.
problem,
Yeah.
right? And so how do you don't know these fighters enough to be willing to pay $45? Not saying they gotta have a $70 pay per view, but a $45 pay per view.
Right,
Like how you don't know these two guys? There's one loss between the both of them. They both got 40-something fights. Got one loss between the both of them, and then not only one belt, it's a unification.
Yeah.
Why is this on regular television?
Yeah, and trying to back fighters, and they backed a few fighters that weren't good.
Yeah.
Selden wasn't good. Like they backed him, and you're trying to line up boxers with a contract to box for you, and they're not. You dish that money out, and you're not marketing or promoting them yourselves.
And that's the thing. I think the old school way is what's hurting. I think they still trying to market the heavyweight
Oh, yeah.
guy. I guess that's the man of all men. They trying to still market the 240 guy.
Yeah.
Like he's the it's 3-4 heavyweights out there, but that's not where all the money is.
Right,
at. The money
right,
is in
right, right.
the money is in between
When you come
middleweight
down in the
to
weights,
junior
yeah.
welterweight.
Right. You
That's where
wanna
the money
see-
is at.
right.
165 to 140. Like that's where all the fighters are at. So it's like you gotta market these fighters, and that's where that's where the nice fights is at. That's where the hand speed is at. That's where the
thing about it, that purse into marketing them, it might cost them $3-4 million to market it.
Right.
They might not say, "Hey, I don't need know if we need to do that." Or
Right,
not. It's,
right.
So who knows how they got things going, but that probably has a lot to do with it.
I could believe
You
that.
know,
Yeah.
and those numbers, it's all numbers, it's all dollars, it's all that.
And they said, it moved. Kellerman didn't really fill Larry's shoes. George left. He had some humor. Jim Lampley was the only connection to the old school. But I think at the same time, I think it's just like Jonathan said, they didn't market or come up with a new way to put this boxing.
Yeah, to
in
take it to a
people's,
whole
new
different,
level.
yeah.
You gotta, really market it to your changing demographic, your changing the new people, because you keep your kind of solid boxers or whatever, boxing fans, and like we said, like the heavyweight champ, the fastest man in the world, and horse racing were the big things years ago. Like those were the three things. Who's the heavyweight champion of the world? Because the heavyweight champion of the world could beat anybody in the world. Who's the fastest man in the world in horse racing? Those are things in boxing, but they've kind of taken a back seat, and you really have to I guess market boxing to the millennials or who wants to see it and check it out. And they haven't done a good enough job of doing it. I guess Showtime is still in the game. ESPN will still be in the game of boxing, but without HBO, it's a big hit for boxing because HBO told some great stories.
45 years, man.
For 45
it's a long
years
time.
to be anything, to be showing boxing and the modern pay-per-view home viewers thing. They kind of took over that, but now it's moving on to a different time and era, and we'll see who picks up this void. HBO drops out of boxing. It'll be interesting to see who picks it up and who moves on with it. Gentlemen, it's been good.
Always good.
Definitely good.
Stamp. We got a Saturday stamp over here.
Yeah,
Bam.
bam.
Let's stamp it. We out. We
in the building. Talking about sports and everything like that. The NFL is cracking up. We're moving into the month of October. It's full fall season now. Things are going to start moving and grooving. Definitely.
This first quarter of the NFL season. It's all it does is heat up later. That's all it does.
Definitely.
These next 4 are going to heat up. Then the next 4, we into 12 is going to heat up, and it's either you win or you out. That's how it goes.
I mean, definitely. That's like you're going to be a contender or a pretender.
Yeah.
But definitely, we got NBA starting up. Little practices,
can't wait.
Little preseason games.
All eyes on the West Coast, though.
West Coast.
All eyes on the West Coast. LeBron's out there.
The Celtics,
Celtics already.
Ben get a jump shot. I mean, it's going to be.
We're going to see.
Yeah,
Tom's going to tell everything.
Yeah, definitely. But definitely. Thanks for everybody for tuning in. Sports Talk Live from the
see
Ranch.
y'all, man. Next
Sports
week.
Talk for the culture. We'll be back next week with the topics and everything. Peace out.
Later.